Hello there, it's me, RJB, and today we are diving into the very last and final set played between Hamburger Sasu and Mong. And this was played on the 25th of May in 2020, and this is, to my knowledge, the last known set that these two players played against each other before Mong more or less retired from fastest map and went back to the normal maps. Also back when he started to refocus on his military service and opened a mukbang channel, which is an eating channel where he makes the food and then eats it. It's kind of like mostly a Korean thing, and Koreans really seem to enjoy it. And it's honestly, the food he makes, I've watched a video, the food he makes is surprisingly very high quality and very, very good looking. So I think he has a real shot at making that new format for his YouTube channel a great success. But we're not really here to talk about food. We're here to talk about StarCraft and to watch some StarCraft. And so the first match we're looking at today, let's change the colors. We've got Mong here on the blue Protoss and Hamburger Sasu here on the red Zerg. Let's phase out the background music and switch over to all the StarCraft sounds that we want to hear. Gonna check the sound settings just to make sure that everything is perfectly alright. Sound settings looking just fine right here. Let's put that one there. Oh, let's put it here. That's a little bit better. Alright, so yeah, Hamburger Sasu on the Zerg, Mong on the Protoss. On spot number 3 o'clock and spot number 12 o'clock, Hamburger Sasu is cutting the wrong direction. Also going to speed up the first 2 minutes. Goes for the save option. We've seen him go for the unsave option quite often in 2020. But against Mong, it looks like he really wants to go for the saver option, putting the Hatchery in the choke, getting a wall up in the front to secure the backline here so he doesn't have to invest into getting defense all around his hive or his lair, his hatchery, his main. But instead can focus his defenses in this small little choke area. He gets found out by Mong though, 2 minutes in. Maybe the background sound is a little bit too loud. It appears pretty loud in my ears, but I'm not sure if it's loud for you guys. It's one of the hard things to figure out. It can sound really loud for me, but not for you. And that's one of the things that makes adjusting the sound settings to be exactly correct pretty difficult. And for some reason, the sound settings aren't always consistent. Sometimes the same sound settings turn out completely different from what I would expect based on a previous video. So the sound settings, I'll probably never really find the perfect setting that everyone or that I am satisfied with. Because honestly, I'm rarely satisfied with the sound settings, but it's a continuous fight. It's a difficult process for me to fine-tune. So Mong usually doesn't go for the +1 Nexus in a PvZ, but here he's going for the +1 Nexus into 4 gateways on a single gas and a Cybercore coming out pretty late. Forge already there, masking up on Zealots. Hamburger Sasu is going to spot all this out with this Zergling. If this Zergling didn't get in, he might have gone for the completely wrong build order, but he sees 4 gateways, still only has a single sunken there in the front, so he has to hurry up and build new ones very, very quick. Mong can see the drones running to the front, and in response to that, seeing that little information, he sends his Zealots in to attack. Wise choice here from Hamburger Sasu to build a hatchery in the front and to put the eggs in front as well to block access to the sunken there in the back. Gonna have to attack that hatchery in the front, which will sadly go down. It gets cancelled just in the nick of time. But now the sunken here is exposed and taking damage, but a lot of Zerglings have been made by Hamburger Sasu to protect and save the front. So this is how important gathering information is. If Hamburger Sasu had not gotten into that base, had not seen the gateways, had not seen the Zealots, he would have been completely caught off guard and probably have died. But seeing that little bit of information, seeing the gateways, seeing the Zealots, allowed him to construct this very, very quick reaction of Sunkens and a hatchery in the front, just to ensure that Mong cannot deal significant damage. It did cost him a lot of money. It truly did cost him a lot of money, and now he's in danger of losing drones as well here in the back. But the Zealots are luckily already on lowered HP, so he won't be taking too much damage, but he is getting slowed down. And getting slowed down is always a bad sign for the Zerg, because the Protoss will get richer and richer faster than the Zerg can. Very smart to put that Zealot there in that little corner where only 2 Zerglings at a time can attack Zealot. A couple more Zealots made their way through, but I do think these Zerglings are gonna be able to kill all these Zealots. Unless Mong pulls off some great micro, which he does. He manages to get as much on as he can. Now losing drones here on the other side as well. Mong is micromanaging and multitasking this so extremely well. He's losing drones, and the drones are all on low HP. Zerglings are coming in to save the day, but more Zealots made their way through the front entrance because there's a tight little, small little opening there in the front that keeps walking through. We've got the Defiler mount, the Hydralisk Den there finishing up. He can make a couple of Hydras, but he clears out all the Zealots in the end. But it took him so much effort, it took him so many minerals, so many lost drones, so many Zerglings to survive that. And that could have gone so wrong so very easily if he hadn't scouted this. But now he's once again getting information. He wants to be sure what is Mong up to. He finds the Citadel, he finds the Templars Archive as well. One candidate keeping the Overlord away from the mineral section. But he wants to find these robos, and he knows the robos have to be somewhere. So he's flying to the left, and there he finds the support bay. And he's gonna find the robos too. But he didn't see the shuttle finish. He didn't see the Zealots getting picked up by the shuttle, because there we are. Oh no, he didn't pick them up yet. So it's still gonna find the shuttle. The Zealots are outside of vision, but he knows the shuttle is finished, and he's making 2 Reavers here as well. Dragoons are spawning to kill the Overlord, and that is gonna put Humbra Kazasu into a short period of being supply blocked, which is probably one of the last things he wanted to happen, because he almost has no defenses. The Reavers here in the front of Mong's base are about to finish as well, and he's going to fly the Reavers into Humbra Kazasu's base, I think, or he's going to go for a frontal push. Humbra Kazasu is preparing himself for the frontal push by throwing down all the creep colonies for more Sunkens in the front, and at the same time he needs more protection in the back. He has 7 Hydras now. Looks like the shuttle is going to fly towards the choke, but might be wrong. Zealots also there going to try to go for the choke attack. Dragoons are going to decide to kill Overlords to deny side vision. Every single little bit of the puzzle, every single piece of the puzzle is being put together here. Sending out 2 Zerglings to eat up some of those Scarab shots, but Mong ignores them and instead keeps attacking the Evo chambers. Humbra Kazasu is adding on more hatcheries. He's got Overlords finished once again, still only on 7 Hydras, but he's got more in the queue. He's preparing himself for the frontal attack here. Mong goes in perhaps a little bit too early, but gets on top of all the Sunkens, and now the Reavers are going to help to take down the Sunkens, but he's going to lose most of his Zealots. I think he went in a little bit too early, but he does manage to kill a couple of the Sunkens, but loses all of his Zealots instead. I do think if he killed the hatchery before going in, he killed the hatchery before with the Reavers, he could have maybe achieved more, because the Zealots had to run all the way around. That might not have been the best choice, but at least he manages to keep Humbra Kazasu on his toes and keeps him, forces him to keep spending on defenses. The Reaver tries to shuttle in, but not gonna happen. He unloads it, gonna pick up the Reavers, flies out safely, but another drop came in there on the side because sniped. Great awareness there for Humbra Kazasu. Once again, the shuttle with the Reaver. Oh, it's a double drop. It's a double shuttle drop. One is Templars in it. Templars are too far away to storm on the drones. He's going to have to storm on units instead. Oh, he had to wait for energy as well. Storms on the Hydras, kills a couple Hydras, but loses the Templars, loses 2 Reavers. And that was very, very well defended there by Humbra Kazasu, but also very greatly executed there by Mong. But Mong was just a little bit short of making everything count and connect. Very close, but just shy of hitting the home run. Another drop there on the side. This time it's only Zealots, just meant to distract, meant to kill some Hydralisks. A drop there loading up in the front as well. Zealots start unloading. It's going straight for the backside there, just trying to buy time, trying to distract, but there's so many Hydras from Humbra Kazasu surrounding the Zealots. The Zealots in the end only kill maybe 2 Hydras, so that's a big investment for pretty much nothing at all. And now Humbra Kazasu is going to keep spending on drones and going to get that lair up and finish, getting himself some lurkers probably as well. He just wants to focus on getting a huge economy. Likewise, Mong already on 75 probes, getting more Templars, more gateways, getting more of everything. Adding on, yeah, pretty much everything. Scarab damage, getting all the upgrades there out of the way as well. Getting air upgrades too, getting more Stargates for Corsairs. He is spending his minerals wisely and with purpose. He isn't being super frequent with his attacks, but he's focusing on getting everything that he needs at the same time, as fast as he can. His minerals, despite having 79 probes, are still very low. He's spending all of it. And he's spending it well. He's going for a mass frontal attack with Zealots at a level 1 weapon attack. Going to take down a couple of those Sunkers in the front. Going to fly in a drop at the same time as well to escort the shuttles in. Hydras are out of position. Hydras are relocating. Going to try to dodge the storms, but there's 2 Templars in the back. 1 storm hits. He kills almost everything. Only 13 drones left alive. That was absolutely disastrous. Humbrik Sasu having all of his Hydras there on the side instead of in the middle or surrounding or around his lair. And winds up paying the price, winds up getting punished for that small mistake of placing the Hydras incorrectly in his base. The Zealots there cleared up a couple of Sunkens, also did significant damage to the remaining Sunkens, so breaking through is going to be easy with Humbrik Asasu on a very low drone count. 30 against 84, filling out the last couple of gas there as well, adding even more Nexi. Almost no Nexus protection though, but I think that he's not really fearing any Overlord Lurker drops from Humbrik Asasu, because Humbrik Asasu currently is pretty broke, and Mong knows that the amount of pressure he's been putting on Humbrik Asasu should be sufficient to not have to need any significant main defense yet. This is a lot of shuttles here getting loaded up, being sent out over the map, and prepare to start dealing actual real damage here. 46 drones now. He's on a higher drone count than before, but it did cost him an arm and a leg to get all those drones back. He had to make another 33, which is a lot of minerals. That's about 1,800 minerals spent on recovering drones. It could have been hatcheries or Hydras. More drops coming in. Templar's very close to the drones, but he snipes the Templar. But that's a lot of Zealots now wreaking havoc there on the side. Templars storming as well, killing Hydras. Another drop there comes in. Nope, that's not a drop. Templars are crawling forward closer towards the... Well, they still have some energy, crawling close towards the minerals, but there's nothing on the minerals at the moment. All the drones are still alive all the way there, far away. Lurkers are spawning now as well. Lurkers have finished morphing, but the Zealots are still killing so many Hydras. Oh, he just returns a little bit too early, but doesn't lose any significant amount of drones. But this is a lot of damage taken here by Humbrik Asasu. That was brutal. Almost all his Hydras are dead, and he can only make a couple new ones, and another drop is already flying across the map there on its way to enter and start dealing damage. Flies it over the bottom right corner of Humbrik Asasu's base. Hydras are in between. Hydras are going to try to snipe, but there's going to be a lot of Zealots. So he kills one. All 4 Templars are on the scene. Templar storming. Templar storms his own Templar and gets killed by the Lurker just in time. So that turns out to be a really good dodge, a really good save there from Humbrik Asasu. But another drop there comes in from the left side. There's 2 Reavers in there. Humbrik Asasu is not noticing it. It's right next to the drone. Starts firing on the drones. Drones are running away. Scarab is chasing all the way. Scarab does not explode on the drone. So the drones there once again stay alive for a little while longer. But almost all the Hydras are dead and gone. They have to try to fly away once again. There's still a Reaver, 2 Reavers in there. Reavers on low HP. Reavers that go down right before they can shoot. Pretty much had no HP left whatsoever. But still only on 63 supply against 174. Mong is really laying down the pain, and Humbrik Asasu is trying to endure the pain. But no. This is never going to be the same. He's not going to maintain. He's not going to sustain this little game. He is going to taste the blood for sure. Sooner or later, he's going to pass out with all this abuse. This is literally brutal stuff. Mong is going to try to fly his Reavers over the hill, but sees that he can, so he unloads, picks up all the Dragoons, and going to put them up on the hill instead. And once they're up on the hill, they're going to provide a little bit of a safe area for the Reavers to unload on. Really smart play here from Mong that I've not really seen done much before. I've seen one player do it in the past, but it didn't really work out. And it was against Humbrik Asasu as well, but now I see this really working out. Dragoons up on the hill, keep the Hydras away. Reavers start to unload. Dragoons there in the mix as well, trying to kill everything he can as fast as he can. But no, the micro with the Reavers and the shuttles is amazing. Keeps most of them alive. And that's it for Humbrik Asasu. He's got no gas left. He cannot remax. Lurks are moving over to protect. And functions as a buffer zone, but he's got observers here as well. More units getting picked up and unloaded inside of the base. He's completely ignoring the choke, completely ignoring the Sunkens, and just straight going for the source of the... for the head of the snake here in the back. Reavers, lurkers are crawling closer towards the Reavers, but there's observers. Reavers taking down most they can. The Dragoons are the biggest problem here though, but the Reavers clear out their last remaining Hydras, and I think this is it, boys. This is it, guys. That's a win for Mong in game number 1. Really, really beautiful execution. This was really solid play from Mong there. At the end, he didn't neglect building his base, but he was so focused on just finishing off his opponent that he honestly really made everything count. Every single move had an effect. Maybe they didn't kill what they intended to kill, but everything had an effect on Hamburger Sasu's ability to defend. This was really, really well played from Mong. I am honestly impressed. The last couple times we saw him play Protoss against Zerg, I wasn't too impressed with this one. This game was seriously impressive to watch. I'm not even mad that Mong, that the Zerg lost against the Protoss here, because that was a well-deserved win for Mong there. He played that superbly. So off to game number 2, where the roles will be reversed, but the client is taking a little bit too long loading the replay folder. Just a little bit too long. So game number 2, loading up. Mong against Hamburger Sasu, and they have swapped their races. Mong, I'm not sure how good his Zerg is, because I haven't seen his Zerg all that often. Colors are brown for Mong here on the 12 o'clock spawn, and on the 7 o'clock spawn, 5 o'clock spawn, we've got Hamburger Sasu on the magenta Protoss. And as I said, I'm not sure how good Mong's Zerg is, but I do know that Hamburger Sasu's Protoss is insanely good. He has a really strong Protoss that is maybe beaten by only a handful of players, or even less. I've only seen a few players be able to beat his Protoss consistently. And by consistently, I mean like 50% of the time. And that's Brain. And maybe Minchul Park. But Minchul, I haven't really seen many replays between these two, so I wouldn't be able to say definitively that it actually happened. And I've seen some other players beat his Protoss as well, but more oftentimes I see them lose. And I hope that doesn't forebode a bad future here for Mong. I want to see him succeed because of Protoss. So a little bit of interesting thing here is that it looks like Mong is going for... This is actually a Protoss against Terran build order, but he's gonna try to make it work against the Zerg. And I honestly think he's got a pretty good chance here, although Mong is currently completely unattacked as of yet. On 14 drones, going for a super mega early Hydralisk Den. But now, actually, looks like Hamburger Sasu just wanted to get very fast Zealot legs, because he's going to Citadel, and he wanted a very fast level 1 attack, and now he's finally adding on his gateways. Most oftentimes, players first go for 3 or 4 gateways, and then they get a Forge and a Citadel of a Dune after the Cyber Core. But he's swapping it all around, just to get that level 1 attack and that Zealot speed faster than you usually would. There it is, getting queued up. And yeah, he's going to go for Mass Zealots as well. Pretty much the same thing Hamburger Sasu did last game, but in a different order. 6 gateways at the same time. Instead of 4, 6. Might even go for 7, but I think 7 might just be a little bit too much. Even stops mining gas completely. All he wanted to do was get a very fast level 1 attack and speed. But what is Mong going to do in response? Mong is scouting the map with his overlords, trying to find out where Hamburger Sasu is and what he's doing. He hasn't managed to get into the base yet. He has been denied access by these 2 cannons, so he doesn't know what's up yet. He might get in with these Zerglings, or he is going to spread them out onto the sides, just to keep vision over the map and have a little bit more reaction time to the things Hamburger Sasu is planning to throw at him. We've got Zealot speed there on the way, Hydralisk speed on the way, and level 1 attack on the way, and Burrow upgrade also on the way right here. So he's going to burrow up these Zerglings and maybe use the Burrow for his Hydras as well. Got a Spire there on the way. He's going for a Spire. He's going for a very fast Spire. He's basically going to try to catch Hamburger Sasu off guard with Mulisks. But Humber Kasasu's Zealot count is going to be absolutely massive. He sees it here now, though. He saw the Zealots, but he sees it at a speed already finished at 5 minutes and 20 seconds in. Level 1 attack also very close to finishing, so once he arrives here in the front, I expect him to have a lot of damage on these Sunkens, and the Sunkens are... It's only 2 of them. He's trying to add on more, but that's not going to be enough. It's pretty much a repeat of last game, but this time around, Mong is not in on the... He didn't get the memo, basically. He's going to try to defend here, though. The Hydras behind the Sunkens are really helping him out with taking down the Zealots. Some of them are getting up. Oh, they're getting in between, they're getting on top, they're getting through, but I think the Hydralisks saved the day just in time. We've got a couple of drones moving to the front as well to try and rebuild a couple more Sunkens, a couple more buildings in the front to block access, and he does so successfully. I'm not sure if he even had to. So it looks like with these Hydras and these Sunkens, he could have defended it really easily. But he went for it anyway, but that does slow down his Mutalisk ambitions, because right now, he cannot really afford Mutalisks because he's out of minerals. He had to adapt really quick, and having to adapt so quick before he could make Mutalisks slowed down his plan, and it might even give away his plans if Humber Kasasu once again goes for the attack and gets in there. But I don't think he will, because this is a really good line here, a really good line of defense. 1 Evo Chamber, 1 Hydra in the front, and 2 X keeping Humber Kasasu away. So Humber Kasasu is now transitioning into Robos for shuttles and also getting a Templars Archive and Support Bay. Support Bay, of course, for speed and reavers. And yeah, Psionic Storm there on the way. No Templars queued up yet though, but they will very soon be queued up. I think more gateways as well and more cannons. He's still balling up units here in the front, but not going to get in. Mong is pretty much playing a Zerg playstyle that's very much like Brain's. I think he's trying to copy Brain here. And why wouldn't he? He's got the APM, he's got the control, he's got the multitasking, and he's got the brain. He's got all the skills he needs to play Zerg like Brain does. And Brain has a really impressive Zerg versus Protoss on fastest map. One of the most impressive Zerg versus Protoss, probably the smartest Zerg versus Protoss on fastest map. But he's a little bit late with his Mutalisks. His Mutalisks are not going to be able to get in here and start dealing damage because there's, at the moment, already 2 cannons finished and 2 more on the way. The Zealots, though, are pretty weak against Mutalisks, but the Zealots have a lot of HP, so it's going to take quite a while before he can actually kill them. He's got Dragoons as well now, so he's mixing up into Dragoons, switching up and moving away from those Zealots. Dragoons are moving away from the base, which might actually be a small mistake, but the amount of Mutalisk is nothing to honestly be worried about. Gonna try to kill the shuttles first, but might lose 2 or 3 Mutalisks in the process. But at least slowing down the drop is a really big move. That is a really, really big move. Gonna try to kill some cannons in the back there, but too many cannons are finishing at the same time as well. So he's gonna retreat, pull out, pull back, and lick his wounds and prepare himself for the next phase of the game. Whereas Humber Kasasu is slowed down, has to wait for new shuttles to finish. He's got no Templars? Well, no, actually he does have Templars there, finishing up right about now. Level 2 attack there also on the way. Not getting armor or shields yet, he's spending all his gas on other things for now. But currently he's unable to attack, although he could try to go for it. But once again, as I said, Lurkers are now on the way. He's not going to break through. This is a pretty good and simple cheap wall. Overlords on the sides are going down, though. Mutalisks are going to try to stop the Dragoons from killing the Overlords, but it's a little bit too late. But now a frontal attack is happening as well, but the Lurkers finish just in time, but there's no Observer here to stop this from happening. So he decides against it. We've got a shuttle here on the side with 1 Templar, 2 Zealots ready to fly in, but Humber Kasasu has his Hydras right. Mong has his Hydras right in the correct position to stop this from happening. But another drop there coming in on the other side of the map. Drones are running away. Templar unloads. Templar storms. Templar gets how many kills? Gets 8 kills. Not too bad, but another drop there now. The same shuttle from earlier gets in, starts to storm, kills 11 drones. So that's 19 drones dead and gone for Mong. Not what he wanted. Not what he wanted, because his hatchery count is kind of low, but at least he still has an income. At least he still has an income, and at least he still has a pretty good fortified frontal defense there. We have the observatory finished for Humber Kasasu. 2 more forges also added on for shields and armor. Shuttles are getting loaded up. Gonna fly across the map. Gonna prepare another attack on the drone count there. And the front here, yeah, still pretty well fortified. Goes in for the attack now, though, but the observer is not yet there. He needs an observer, but he hasn't made one yet. What matters is the drop. The drop comes in unopposed. Nothing in between to stop it. Templar's unloading. Templar storm. Templar missed the storm. That was a very quick storm. But he missed it. But I think he's got another Templar there in the shuttles. Gonna unload it very soon. Starts to unload. Misses the storm because he couldn't storm. Got killed a little bit too fast there. But he tried. But couldn't connect. So 75 probes now for Humbert Kasasu. 53 drones for Mong. Mong is 100 supply behind. But he is doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well in my opinion. Observers are finished for Humbert Kasasu. Flying across the map. Trying to prepare himself for the frontal attack. Another shuttle drop there, ready to fly his way in, sneak through, avoid the Hydras and the Mutas. See if he can do it this time around. He has succeeded once, well, twice technically. So the frontal attack happening on those very strong gateway units with level 2 weapon and level 1 armor. Observers providing support with killing the lurkers, but that one lurker there in the back and the Hydras behind it keep the mass of units away. This is honestly closer than I expected. Mong has a pretty darn good Zerg. It's not quite the same as what most others do. It is that very difficult playstyle that Brain tries to do, but he has deviated from that playstyle that Brain does quite a while ago because he couldn't really deal the damage he wanted to with the Mutalisks. At most, he slowed Mong down, Humbert Kasasu down just a tiny little bit. But the question is, was it enough? Scorch is flying across the map, hunting for some shuttles. The shuttles are protected by 2 cannons, but I do think that these Scorches can kill a couple of shuttles. Flies straight in. Lags a little bit. Ooh, the storm saves the day, but also damages the shuttles just a tiny little bit. But at least the shuttles all stay alive, except for this one. This one is pretty much already dead, and this one just so happens to have the Templar in it. Ah, there's more Templars in there, so it doesn't really matter. There's more Templars in there. The Goons once again attacking through the front, but there's still those lurkers which are making life difficult. What really matters is these shuttles flying in. There's nothing in between. A couple of Hydras going to try to snipe this, but they are respawning a little bit too late. Drones are running away. Templars are going to storm all the drones. Templars don't have the energy to storm. Only one of them. Oh, he comes back right in, but gets stormed nonetheless. Loses, I think, about 20 drones and has 40 still left alive, which is honestly a pretty good exchange there for Mong, keeping most of them alive. But that could have been way worse if those Templars had energy right when they got unloaded, because it looked like he couldn't storm right as they unloaded. It took like 2 seconds before he could storm. That's very unfortunate for Humbert Kasasu. Very, very fortunate for Mong. Means he stays alive for a little while longer. Now 136 supply. His choke here has grown smaller over time, but the lurkers have replaced the Sunkens, and lurkers are pretty darn strong here in the front. Once again, loading up another drop. The Goons are getting loaded. Oh, he's unloading lurkers there on the minerals, but will they get a shot at anything? It doesn't look like it. Looks like not a single probe was lost there, but it does disrupt Humbert Kasasu just a little bit. Not enough though, but just a little bit. If that had hit though, if that had managed to hit, that could have been a turnaround in the game. But he couldn't quite make it connect. Just shy of actually dealing significant damage. So the mass gateway army once again entering the middle. Shuttles gonna fly in at the same time as the mass attacks. It's got 2 shuttles flying to the side there straight into some Mutalisks, so that one is gonna get taken down by the Mutas. Unless Mong, of course, doesn't notice because he's focusing on the front. Reavers in the front there are gonna start freaking absolute massive amounts of damage. And this might just be the end for this game. Lurkers are retreating. Hydras are balling up there in the middle of the base. Gonna try to pick up some units, maybe put them up on the hill there to try and defend this, but this looks very difficult to defend against. Because there's so many Reavers, so many Zealots, so many Templars, so many Dragoons breaking through. And oh no, he's not gonna use the units for defending, he's gonna try to land another Overlord drop, but that might have just killed him. Not having those Hydras back at home to defend might have just killed him. Because now he's got nothing to defend. I get what he's trying to do, sneak into the enemy base while the enemy is trying to attack you. But if you've got nothing to defend, you might as well not have, because he's never ever gonna get any significant results with that drop. Because there's nothing left to back at home, basically. I think that just lost the game, although, just a quick pause here, If we look at the upgrades for both players, we've got level 2, 2, 3 for Humbert Kasasu and level 1, 2 for Mong. And in these Overlords, we've got mostly just Hydras, but there's a lot of canister in the back, and a Templar there in the back as well, with no energy to storm though. And he just leaves the game. So in the end, it turns out that Mong made a very, very big mistake there at the end. I really think he would have had just enough Hydras to defend, had he not gone for that drop. But who knows, maybe he didn't have enough, maybe he would have died even if he kept those Hydras back at home, and maybe it was just his last chance to try and make something happen. But the game was over. The Reaver switch up there onto the front was a really great move there from Humbert Kasasu. That was exactly what he had to do, really well executed. Mong played this really well up until the end, where he was just too far behind to keep up with Humbert Kasasu. Just a little bit too far behind. That's game number 2. Looks like, as usual, and sad to say, Protoss wins against the Zerg. We've seen sometimes that really good players like these do manage to win as Zerg against Protoss, but it's still quite rare, because Protoss is just so damn strong against Zerg on fastest map. So over game number 3, we're moving over to another matchup. We're moving over to Protoss against Terran, and Humbert Kasasu is the first player to have the privilege of playing Protoss against Terran. And both players are right next to each other. Mong here on the pale blue Terran on the 5 o'clock spawn. And on the 3 o'clock spawn, we've got Humbert Kasasu on the teal Protoss. This is gonna be a slaughter because both players are very good at this matchup. I think, honestly, that this is, respectively, their best matchup. Humbert Kasasu is amazing as Protoss in Protoss against Terran. And Mong is the very best Terran versus Protoss player. Even better than Brain and Minchul Park. He is, without a doubt, the very best Terran player on fastest map. And just that little fact is going to make this game an interesting one. But there is a big but in the room. And that big but is he went for a command center first, whereas Humbert Kasasu went for 2 gateways into a nexus. Now that command center first wouldn't have been a problem if Humbert Kasasu had gone for a nexus into a gateway into a forge. But with the 2 gateways before the nexus, he has the ability to get some zealots out onto the map very, very early, and Mong might not be able to deal with them adequately. He did find it though, he did see it. I'm going to change the colors, sadly. I really like the teal and the pale blue, but on the minimap, the pale blue looks very similar to the teal, so it's a little bit difficult to differentiate. So one zealot there, going back to... Oh, he's still scouting. He didn't know that Mong was right below him. If he had 2 zealots here on the scene, he could have dealt some damage to his SCVs there, but because there's only a single zealot, because he didn't know where Mong was located, the element of surprise, to a certain degree, is gone, and Mong managed to get just enough Marines finished to defend himself against that 1 zealot. If it had been 2, might have been a different story, because then he could maybe start dealing damage to barracks or SCVs there on the side and slow Mong down. But in this case, Mong didn't get slowed down, got more zealots there on the way though, but he has the bunker and he can fill it up with Marines, and the bunker is, I think, just within range to protect almost everything here in the back. I think this is about the range the bunker has, so the bunker is gonna be significant in defending there. SCV there once again tries to get in, but Humbert Kasasu, I think it is the wrong choice to try and focus on the SCV there. Both players are dancing a little bit there, having some fun with each other. Gets in the end. Amazing, he got in. He goes for the touchdown. Will he get the touchdown though? The probe there gonna try to stop from doing so. Will he arrive at the SCVs there in the back and the probe to the back? The minerals, he's running away, gets caught off guard, and he gets tackled in the end. No touchdown for the SCV there at the end. But at least he managed to get through, got a first down. Made a lot of progress there as well. Marines are moving out with medics. Stim I think, is not yet finished because he wanted to get the factory first. And he walks straight into Zealous, but that might not be the best exchange here for Mong. As Zealous are getting right in between, right on top. The Marines manage to wriggle their way out of that tight situation. The micro control here, pretty good. But the amount of Zealots is still too damn high for the Marines to comfortably fight into. The medics there, though, might save the day. Tries to micro his way out of there once again. Splits his Marines up into two directions. And in the end, does win the fight. But I think he lost a lot of Marines there nonetheless. But I don't think he cares, because this command center here allows him to keep making Marines non-stop and keep building onto his base non-stop. He is just very rich. Scans the front there, sees Robo finished, sees a second Robo on the way, and a gateway there as well. The other tech here is in the back. Sport Bay, a Citadel, is getting speed. He's going for probably what I think is his favorite Protoss build order, and that is Shuttle with 2 Reavers and Zealot speed. And he'll have about 12 Zealots, maybe even more. And he's gonna rush his opponent with that combination. Got a starport there on the way for Mong, a second factory as well. Still mining on 3 refineries, and it's got Stim upgrade now almost finishing up. Range will follow up shortly after. 1 tank is finished. Siege mode on the way there as well. Now the 2 Reavers are queued up too. Adding on more gateways, he needs more Zealots, and he just has to prepare himself for the 7-minute mark, really. He's gonna go for his frontal attack right around 6:30 usually, but the Reavers are a little bit late. So it's gonna be at around 6:30. He might still make 6:30, but I think it's gonna be a 6:40 frontal attack. Because he has to fly over first. And there's already 2 tanks there in the front to defend against the Reavers. So the Reavers won't be able to break through these depots here in the front. Though I'm not sure if the range is exactly right here. But I think Mong would place his tanks just at the exact correct position to defend against it. This turret there finishes just in time. And yeah, looks like he can't really go in. And he knows he can't go in. He knows he can't break through. So he turns around. And that's all because he was a little bit late. But just a little bit late. But also because Mong was exactly on time. Exactly. Any delay for Mong might have spelled a different outcome. And now Mong is gonna keep turtling and probably aim on abusing the hill to push his way towards the probes here. The Hamburg Assassin is gonna have a really difficult time dealing with that one, I'm sure. Although he's got a pretty big drop here prepared. Every single shuttle is loaded up with units. And he's gonna fly them over the hill and unload them there on the bottom, on the top corner of the base. Gonna try to kill the turrets as fast as he can to not lose the shuttles. Ooh, he keeps 2 shuttles alive. The remaining Zealots get lifted up into the shuttles. Gonna fly them in. Gonna have to protect the Reavers. Gonna have to try to micro the shuttle with the Reaver, but he's a little bit slow on that one because he's now spending his minerals. Picks up a Reaver. Oh, Mong gonna try to snipe the shuttle. Will he snipe the shuttle? Snipes Reaver alone. Reaver can't shoot. The Zealots are still killing units there on the side, and it is bloody. He killed a lot of tanks, a lot of Marines, but in the end, Mong comes out on top. Really well defended. Also, pretty nice plan there for Hamburg Sasu, but the plan didn't work out as he intended. Now both players still on the same amount of workers, although it looks like Mong is jumping ahead by just a tiny little bit. Now cannons being added on there to protect the minerals, because it is about time that Mong can start throwing out tank drops to kill the minerals, and he's very close, so he has to really be very safe here with the cannons on the side. And he also has to start dealing damage with the shuttles. But Mong there hasn't given him a chance to deal any damage. Tanks already being put here on the side. Soon they will be put up on the hill, then past the hill, and once past the hill, he's going to push for the probes. And this puts Hamburg Assassin in a very difficult position. Sending out some shuttles though. Wait, no, he's just relocating them to keep them away from the scans, because Mong is really fond of scanning for shuttles, seeing where they are. Dropship there hasn't done anything yet so far. Still setting up that line there on the side. He's got 2 armories finished as well. Got a level 1 weapon attack already on the way. What's it called again? It is called Kadarin Kadarin Amulet. Kadaring Amulet. Gives 50 Templar energy maximum and gives 12.5 energy as well. So have your Templars start on 62.5 energy, which instead of 50. So basically, it's a little bit faster for your Templars to be able to storm. It's a really useful upgrade, and it prevents those situations where you unload your Templars at the enemy minerals and they don't have energy to storm yet. Very important upgrade that's often overlooked. Currently on level... I can't see the upgrades, damn it. Yeah, there's no unit. Oh, there. This is their level 1 attack. He's flying him with the shuttles, and of course, they're assisting with shuttles. Marines are way out of position for Mong. Does have a lot of Marines there in the bunkers, though. Starts running away his SCVs there. Mong starts. Homburg starts unloading, starts to storm and everything. Reavers are there on the scene as well. There's so many bunkers with Marines saving the day, though. The storms are not as effective as they usually are. The Scarab's also not as effective. Loses most of his units there on the scene, but he does kill, I think, about 16, maybe 17 SCVs there. So he did get some results. But the bunkers all around the main command center save the day. Because this means that your Marines don't get stormed. Instead, he storms the bunkers, but structures don't take storm damage. So that really makes an insane difference in defending against those mass drops on your minerals. Mass gateways being built there on the middle. He's not building them in his base, not sure why, but he's got a reason for it. Tanks being put up on the hill. Now we are reaching the point in the game where Humber Hisasu is in real danger. If he had been on any other location, except these two locations right next to Mong, he would have had a way easier time, but now he is getting attacked there. Oh, the tanks are so close to the probes. Is he gonna get the probes? He kills both sides. Oh no, oh dear lord. That's 53 or 77 probes, all dead and gone, and that's exactly what I was talking about. It is so easy from this spawn location that Mong is on right now to deal significant amounts of damage on the probe line very easily. It's basically the spot abuse that's available and possible on this map. He storms on the SVs there, though most of the SVs ran away, but kills, I think, about 35. So that is a pretty good blowback onto Mong. But not as massive as he needed. Mong is still capable of drop shipping tanks past the hill and dealing damage to Humber Hisasu, who's currently only on 26. He's still very far behind on Mong, who's 43 probes at the moment. And there's no mass for Humber Hisasu, so this, I think, is just going to be over very soon, unless this drop here manages to land a somewhat finishing blow on Mong, but I don't expect that to happen. I don't think it will deal the amount of damage it needs. Tanks are already unloading past the hill, and still a lot of tanks that are ready to roll in and start killing probes. Probes are running away. Doesn't kill the probe this time around, but another drop comes in as well. Starts to unload there on the scene. Storms on nothing at all. Gets no SCV kills whatsoever. Well, he killed 2, but that's not really significant or nothing to write home about. And yeah, he unloaded more tanks there. Well, no, he pulled the tanks back to his main command center to kill this Archon. Another Templar unloads. Templars are storming. Templar are getting all the remaining SVs, and that's exactly what Humber Hisasu needed to come back into the match. He killed, I think, another 15 there. So that is a great hit, and it puts both players on equal footing. Well, equal footing for as much as this abusable hill here creates equal footing. Humber Hisasu decides to leave. He gives up. Humber Hisasu believes he doesn't have a chance here. And maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't know how many SCVs he killed. But also there's 4 command centers to rebuild SCVs. That's 4 SCVs every 14 seconds coming in. Whereas Humber Hisasu is still only on 2 Nexus, so that's 2. That's half the worker production. So Mong will eventually catch up, and he's in a very safe position here. That's very difficult to break if you are Humber Hisasu and low on minerals. So it looks like Mong does come out on top there at the end and takes home the win. Well deserved. Well deserved. Great play there from both players. But mostly well played and well timed by Mong, who managed to find the right timing on his slightly abusive playstyle. But that's not something, not something to really be mad about. It is probably the only imbalance on the map. And while it is a little bit abusive, it is not that abusive, basically. So game number 4, and instead of a Protoss against Terran, we've got ourselves a Terran against Zerg. Also, I should update this race thing there at the bottom, because I forgot for the last game. Alright, game number 4. Hamburger's House against Mong. Their colors are red against yellow. Mong is on the Zerg. Let's speed up the game towards 2 minutes. So we've seen Mong play a pretty good Zerg against Protoss. Not good enough. Well, to beat Hamburg Assassin, you have to, in Zerg versus Protoss, you have to pull off an amazing Zerg. And his Zerg was really good, but not amazing enough to defeat Hamburg Assassin's Protoss in that matchup. But he did play a very beautiful Terran against Protoss just last game. Like, as expected, he just played a really solid, really strong and controlled Terran against the Protoss, and he pulled off the win with some great tank drops and great mineral defense, which is also, of course, very important. Probably the most important part. So let's see what Mong does in this matchup. Hatchery number 2 there, gonna finish up very soon. Has no lair yet, but will finish or start very soon, right as planned. But I think he's putting a couple too many drones there on the minerals, on the gas I mean. He's mining minerals with only 7 drones. He's getting a lot of gas very early on, but he can't really use that gas. Most players start off with 1 extractor and get their 2nd extractor when the lair finishes instead of when the lair starts. So that might cue us in on Mong maybe not being all that used to Zerg on fastest map, or maybe he's trying something different. Maybe he has a different optimization in his mind than what most players orthodoxly go for. Marines moving across the map, medics are finishing as well. Stim Brigade, they're also on the way, gonna finish soon and then try to break through the front. That's currently 4 Sunkens. That should be enough for now, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's gonna break through with just that. Maybe he's gonna break through. More Firebats also on the way. He stims in. Goes straight for the middle Sunken. Sunken number 4 is finishing just in time, or it's too late. It's too late. He's gonna break through. 4 Sunkens is not enough. Oh no, this is a disaster. It looks like Mong just Oh, that was easy. That was easy and quick. Very self-explanatory as well. I don't have to explain anything or say anything about that one. Mong just completely miscalculated and didn't expect it. So we're at 2-2 for this best of 5. That means we have a game number 5. We have a game number 5, guys. We have a game number 5. And it's going to be an absolutely epic match. I mean, I have to select the replay so I know how long the replay takes. And based on the length, I know this is going to be epic. This is going to be an epic final showdown between Mong and Hamburg Assassin in their very last match. This is the very last match that these 2 players will play, or have played, at least for as far as I know. I don't have any other replays between these 2 players after this date against each other. This is the final showdown. The final showdown between Hamburg Assassin. You're on the yellow Terran on the 11 o'clock spawn, and Mong here on the 1 o'clock spawn on the Protoss. What does Mong have in store for us in this final showdown, and what can Hamburg Assassin do to deter his opponent and secure a win in this battle? Terran against Protoss. Hamburg Assassin is a Terran specialist as well, although he is much more an all-round player who doesn't have the insanely high peak at one race that Mong has. Mong has an insanely high peak on Terran. His Protoss is also very, very strong. But I think Hamburg Assassin's Zerg is a slight bit better than Mong's. But to be honest, these 2 players are both absolutely insanely skilled. So honestly, I've got no idea which way it's gonna go. If the game goes late, I see Humber Kasasu taking the win. If Mong manages to deal damage early on, he takes the win. And he is in fact going for the variation of the proxy mid-gate, but instead of building the gateways on the middle because of traveling distance towards this location, while towards the middle being too great. Basically, this is the halfway point towards the middle. If he builds it here, he loses a lot of time, but he does reduce traveling distance for the Zealots. But it doesn't really matter because, well, he might as well just build the gateways here and have the same... Basically, let me just rephrase that completely. If you build the Zealots here, they will arrive in Humber Kasasu space at the same time as when you build them here. Because the distance traveled by the probe towards the middle just would not compensate. Just would not compensate. The Zealots are moving and they will arrive in Humber Kasasu space soon, but he doesn't yet know where Humber Kasasu is. And yeah, it all comes down to traveling distance and how much time it takes to arrive where the enemy is. Corner against corner rushing is just a long distance. It's very difficult to pull off as the Protoss. If it was a mid-spawn towards a corner or a mid-spawn towards a mid-spawn, rushing would be way easier to pull off for the Protoss. And I do think that Humber Kasasu can defend himself here with a command center first build order into barracks, much like what Mong did last game, but instead of facing 2 gateways, Humber Kasasu is facing 3 of them. But the Zealots have not been able to deal any significant damage here. The cannon there on the front is on the way. It's going to get taken down there by this... Is it? Is he going to get taken down? He's... Oh, it's a shield battery. We got a Zealot there in the back attacking SCVs there, slowing down the economy. The shield battery there in the front, will it really play an important role here? More Marines are spawning. This bunker is protecting the SCVs there, but SCVs getting attacked. Only 11 SCVs left because 18 probes getting on top of the bunker there as well. It's not getting repaired. Humber Kasasu is focusing, has to focus on so many things at the same time. One SCV there in the bunker. The bunker isn't gonna go down. Bunker goes down, but now Marines coming from the back to the front. The SCVs there joining the fight as well. Zealots are still alive, but the Zealots are running away because the shield battery. Why isn't he using the shield battery though? Oh wait, the energy ran out on the shield battery, so it's no longer a point in using it. So you wanted to use the shield battery to buy time, but looks like... It just looks like... Rushing from a corner to a corner just takes too much time to arrive, and that is what we saw right there. It just takes too much time to arrive, and with some great micro skills like Humber Kasasu had right there, you can defend that seemingly pretty easily. I mean, it was close, but he didn't take huge amounts of damage. No longer supply block as well. The supply block might actually hurt him, but Mong, of course, didn't know that Humber Kasasu was supply block, so he is just assuming that he can't fight here. More Marines on the way. Humber Kasasu has managed to save his hide and extend the game, and Mong is pulling back, retreating back to home. Where he's adding on 2 Nexus, a Cyber Core, a Robotics already, a Citadel of Dune as well. Humber Kasasu is reaping the benefits of that +1 command center, although he is still a couple of workers behind on Mong, but at least he'll be able to recover with that command center. Getting more workers than you usually would if he hadn't made it. But not having made it also cost him a lot of Marines and some SCVs and some bunkers. So in the end, the trade-off is actually about even. But at least the recoverability with an extra command center from that situation is a little bit easier. Now I'm gonna try to go for the counter attack. Finds a pylon. Mong knows the counter attack is an option, so he throws down some cannons. More robots are in the front. Scan comes down as well. What we see, Scan the main saw the robotics and the citadel. So at least he knows those 2 structures are finished, so he knows to expect them. I think he saw that there's too many cannons and cells in the front there, so a frontal attack not gonna be possible. Finds... Oh, he's assuming there's another pylon because he found a pylon here. He assumes there has to be another one here as well. And yeah, just killing it. killing at least something. Getting depots there in the front to build a wall. We've got an engineering bay there on the way as well for turrets, for detection against Dark Templars and against shuttle drops. Got the scan there in the back. Slowly adding on more factories. No starport yet. He's not preparing himself for the shuttle drop with a Wraith. Oftentimes, a lot of players like to use a Wraith to kill the shuttle. But that's not what Humbert Sasu is up to right now. SV's going to the side to get turrets to defend. Vision as well. Smart to put that vision down. Because, of course, you know something has to be flying over to your base. So might as well put 1 or 2 Marines there for a side vision to spot it out. The Marines will likely get taken out. But that's a worthy investment to make. Dark Templars are there. Scans again. Probably saw the Reaver getting picked up by the shuttle there, so he's expecting a drop very soon. The Dark Templar is gonna move to the front, gonna try to see if he can break through, but there's a turret already there. So the Dark Templar is not gonna achieve much, but it will stay there to keep units from leaving the base. Oh, I might actually kill the SCV there. Ooh, nice. Slows down the depot in the front. He's actually just outside of detection range. Exactly outside of detection range, so the depot there are gonna go down in the end after all. We don't have the drop arriving yet. That's actually very well observed. Tries to get in, but no! Nope, nope, nope. Not gonna get in there. So he's preparing a massive drop. Instead of going for a small one, he's going for a massive one. But I think a small one would have actually been able to deal some damage because there were no turrets on the sides yet. So he would have been able to fly in very easily. Although there are Marines in between, there is vision on the side here. The bottom side is completely open. And there's also somewhat of a hole here to fly through. But whether he would have been able to deal damage with the shuttle drop, I don't know. But I do think he had a significant chance of doing so, but he decided against it because of course he doesn't know what I know. He didn't know that Humbert Kasasu didn't have turrets on the sides yet. So that kind of explains why he goes for a bigger drop instead of going for a small drop into more smaller drops right after. Very early mass gateways are on the side. Not going for carriers, going for mass gateway units because he doesn't have carrier stuff prepared yet. Drops are balling up, flies over the Marine, so Humbert Kasasu knows it's on the way, unloads one Zealot to kill the Marine, stims into the top side there. Humbert Kasasu manages to keep Mong from entering for now. Goes in there in the end though, starts loading on the side. A lot of Templars there as well. Reavers as well. Kills all the Marines with the Templar Storms. That's a great, great move there. I think one Templar still has energy. No, he doesn't have energy anymore. The Reaver went down there in the end. And now the Marines are going to clear out the remaining Zealots and kill the Archons. But that was about 20 Marines and 4 medics dead and gone. Got 3 turrets as well. So at least he got something done. Gonna take a while for... Well, it's gonna take longer for Humbert Kasasu to rebuild all those Marines than it takes for Mong to send out this second drop. But there's still a lot of Marines here left on the top corner that can snipe shuttles. So not sure if that is gonna work. He's gonna try to find another opening to fly through. Gets spotted out by another Marine once again. So the Marines there on the side really serving their purpose. He's relocating to the bottom side while also sending out some probes into the middle to start building cannons on the middle. Mong's multitasking, as always, is superb. More gateways here on the side. These gateways are pretty much only going to be used for Zealots, because these gateways here in the middle cannot make Dragoons, because Dragoons need a location to spawn, and there's nowhere for Dragoons to physically spawn. So you can only make Zealots with these 4, but that is his intended purpose. His intended purpose is only Zealots from these gateways. There's a Corsair there on the top corner. Drop comes in, Humbert Kasasu responds, starts sniping the shuttles, but the Zealots are unloading on the top side there. More Zealots are unloading. Oh, there's only Zealots here close to the minerals. So he winds up only being able to storm on Marines on the top corner, but he kills a lot of them once again with the storms. The SVs there are all safe and sound. The Zealots there stuck, locked into prison, locked into hell. There's nowhere to run. They're locked up there in the corner. A dark fate. He's taking damage on that Comsat as well, though. The Archon at the top corner, doing more than it should legally be allowed to. Yep. Alright, so level 1 ship upgrade there on the way. Level 1 tank upgrade didn't finish, or didn't even start. He wants to go for Valkyries to defend against the mass drops. We've got more gateways being built there in Mong's base as well, sticking to the gateway mass. He's gonna be Gateway Man. He's gonna be the Gateway Man. Valkyrie there moving out. Gonna try to deal some damage towards those shuttles, but the shuttles are... He fights them. Great scouting. So that's some damage there on the shuttles, not a lot. A little bit more damage from this Valkyrie on the shuttles. Now the Marines are there to snipe them down, and the Marines are getting swarmed by Reavers and Zealots. One Reaver went down, got sniped. The Marines are managing to crawl their way out of there. Oh, beautifully played from Humber Kasasu here. This is really well defended there. But the awareness to use the scan upgrade, and to, with the scan upgrade, chase down the shuttles with the Valkyries, that's always something I really like in this Korean playstyle, is hunting down those shuttles, making life a little bit more difficult. So our gateway man, Mong, here on the side, waiting for shuttles to spawn, while also getting an Arbiter's Tribunal somewhere. Oh, is this it? Is this the Arbiter Tribunal? There it is. So I'm probably gonna try to use some Arbiters as well. He hasn't really been able to physically damage Humber Kasasu all that much. Except, of course, killing Marines, but that's something Humber Kasasu doesn't care about, because he's got 5 barracks, and the Marines are pretty much intended for that whole purpose. A lot of hallucinated Corsairs. But I think he's going to focus on just the shuttles. He's going to focus... Oh, Reavers unloading, Reavers killing, Reavers shooting. Oh, that hit was massive on the Marines. But not massive enough. Not massive enough. Now we've got a lot of Valkyries as well, and the Corsairs are mostly fakes. So the Valkyries actually didn't take that much damage. There was only 2 real Corsairs there in the mix. Another shuttle there, going to try to fly over that top corner, where he just created a small little hole to fly through, but there's Valkyries right in between. One shuttle takes damage. Shuttle number 2 there, going all the way. Templars are unloading. Once again, storms on the Valkyries. Once again, the storms are achieving some small little things. But looks like nothing is meant to really do anything decisive. Mong now on 160 supply. Humber Kasasu on 160 supply. 82 workers for Mong, 75 for Humber Kasasu. Almost nothing in the front there, but everything here in the back to defend against drops. The Valkyries there are still flying back and forth, waiting for a flock of shuttles to arrive. A war between Valkyries and shuttles will occur soon once again. Moving out. Adding on even more gateways, getting 2 Arbiters on the way as well. Recall is also... Oh, Stasis is being researched. Stasis is the natural enemy of Valkyrie. That is something I can, without a doubt, say for sure. So it looks like Humber Kasasu knows that the drop is coming from a different direction. He's unloading on the front. Gonna break through the choke. Kills all the shuttles there with the Valkyries now. Units from the back coming to the front. Kills 2 Templars before they can storm. Templar finally storms in the end, but it's the last remaining Templar, and there's no more storms remaining. Just gonna take out the front and send in a mass gateway man attack with the Zealots streaming in over the map. Though the SimCity here is blocking the Archon from leaving. It's making life a little bit difficult for him. Now it's also blocking the remaining Zealots, but Zealots here on the side are killing turrets. Great target selection there from Mong. Knows he can't really deal damage to the tanks, so might as well just move away from the tanks and kill stuff that's on the side. But more Zealots coming in, slowly streaming in, slowly entering the fight. Slowly accumulating damage on his opponent. But what really matters now is he has to land a shuttle drop. Building cannons on the sides. The cannon cannot shoot over the hill here though, so the turrets are safe, but at least these structures that are providing sight vision will get taken down. One Zealot's coming through the front. Templar, they're still alive, has energy for a storm, but he doesn't notice. Well, he notices, he knows. Storms on the tanks and some Marines. Takes one of them down, even. Will our gateway man Mong, be able to actually deal significant damage soon? Or is this just going to be small amounts of damage that get remedied and repaired and healed just in time for Humber Kasasu to keep up with Mong. Although the shuttles are coming in. Oh, one Templar arrives on the scene. He storms. Oh no, Humber Kasasu. Oh no. That is pretty painful. Once again, he assumed there were no Templars left in the shuttles. The Valkyries were on the wrong location as well. So he lost a large chunk of his income. But he's got 4 command centers, so he's able to rebuild himself pretty quick. Got a lot of tanks already finished, so he doesn't really have to make new tanks to defend. So he is actually somewhat comfortable despite losing SCVs. Also putting tanks up on the hill to defend and kill the cannons on the side. Another mass gateway man attack there being prepared. We've got arbiters as well. Gonna just keep sending in some zealots to maybe kill some tanks slowly but surely. Keep Humber Kasasu on his toes. He will get maybe 1 or 2 tanks every single attack, maybe even 3 of them. But it's not significant. Humber Kasasu has just enough gas to keep making tanks. Just enough SCVs to finance them. And as I said before, because he already has so many tanks, he already has so many factories, turrets and depots everywhere, he pretty much has everything he needs. So the drop, because it hit him so late into the game, didn't quite do the trick. What I find more interesting though is Mong is spending all his minerals somehow. He's got 90 probes, but he's spending everything. I don't know how he does it, but everything is being spent. He's constantly maxed out. Carriers are on the way into the middle. We've got some Goliaths there prepared, but the Goliaths are facing some Zealots, and the Zealots are going to take down the Goliaths, and when those carriers arrive, there will be no Goliaths left to fight against the carriers, but he does have Valkyries, and Valkyries are damn strong against carriers, but it's only 5 carriers, but there's 2 Arbiters in the back with stasis energy, and once the Valkyries come to the front to kill the Arbiters, to kill the carriers, oh, the EMP there, kills some shields, but the EMP would have been more useful on the Arbiters, but he didn't know the Arbiters were there yet. Now he knows though, now he knows. Also why he's keeping his Valkyries far away. Because he knows if he goes to the front, his Valkyries are gonna get stasis. That is not what he wants. He does not want stasis on his Valkyries, because then it's pretty much, I don't want to say game over, but it makes the game significantly more difficult. One of Mong's staple carrier plays is building shield batteries to constantly heal up those shields. He makes like 10 or 20, sometimes even 30 shield batteries, so he can fly back and forth from attacking. His shields go down, he leaves, he repairs the shields, and goes right back in. It makes fighting against carriers pretty damn difficult. Humber Kasasu has recovered his minerals, 65, 66 SCPs now, replacing the little bit of leftover space in his base with more factories, moving out into the middle as well with a lot of tanks, a lot of Goliaths. Mong is forced to pull back into the middle and try to stop these Goliaths from taking down all the cannons, but the cannons are already gone. The Arbiter there though, oh, that single stasis hits so many little things, so many different things. That is an absolutely massive stasis. I've never seen a stasis that massive before. I think it's actually 2 stasises. Maybe it's 1, but that's a massive one. So the carriers will be able to clear out the Goliaths here, I think. We'll be able to save the middle. Because there's 8, well, only 2 Goliaths unstasised, and most of them have gone down already. More are being rebuilt back in the base. Adding on a couple more factories there. He's got 12 finished, and I think he'll be able to fit about 18 in total into his base, maybe even more, maybe 21. The Valkyries there are also going to be a great little addition into the anti-carrier battle. Mong protecting the cannons on the middle. He did lose his probe. No, it's still there. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. I really like the efficiency of Mong's base. There's a wide open hole here, but he does have 4 gateways there, another 12 here for 16, and another 3 in the front for a total of 19 gateways, and he's got 8 stargates there as well for carriers. It's really efficiently placed. Oh, the carriers are having trouble fighting against the Valkyries. Valkyries are great against interceptors, and as we can see, almost no interceptors remain. 11 carriers. Now this is the point in the game where Mong should try to kill about 24 of his probes, because he doesn't need that many probes when he's playing carriers. Because the carriers themselves don't really die, it's mostly the interceptors that die. And interceptors are not that expensive to replace. So you can afford to kill some of your probes that are on the minerals. Or to reduce some of the probes that are on the gas. Because 89 probes is a high amount of probes to fight against the Terran with. Your army, it can be big, but the question is, will it be big enough to fight against the Terran army? I have to admit though, Hamburger's army looks absolutely tiny. That's because he's got a lot of supply in these Valkyries. He's got more than 12. I think I count about 14 or 15 Valkyries there. That is a lot of supply, and he's got more Valkyries queued up here on the side. He really is going all in on the Valkyries. And now, Mong is doing exactly as I said just earlier. He's killing about 2 groups of probes, a total of about 24, to open up some supply space. Oh, he's going to try to go for the mind control on the side there. Oh, he recalled the probe. He recalled the SCV. Where did he recall it to, though? Where did he... Oh, he failed the recall. Looks like the SCV went down just before he could... Alright, so he tried to recall a mind-controlled SCV, but the SCV went down. Because I don't spot the SCV anywhere whatsoever, and this is the only place where he has an Arbiter. So he tried to recall the SCV. SCV got killed. No mind control for Mong today. I'm kind of glad, because I think mind control is a very dirty, overpowered mechanic that shouldn't exist. At least not on workers. Or at least, it shouldn't give you another 200 extra supply. That's the issue, I think. The 200 in an extra supply is the issue. Once again, frontal fight happening. No Arbiters remain. One there on the top side, but doesn't have the energy for stasis. Scares the carriers away. There's Reavers there on the bottom as well to keep tanks away when they roll up too close. And he's got Templars as well to storm on either Valkyrie or tank or Goliath. Got a massive gateway base being added on here on the side for Mong. Healing up those carriers. Once again, scans the side. There's a lot of Corsairs there as well to take care of those Valkyries. The carriers are going to go in from the top side there. It's going to first kill some turrets. Now we've got the Corsairs there on the scene as well. We've got the Arbiter now with enough energy for stasis. Hamburger's house is pulling back to his own base. Valkyries, they are ready to fight again. Oh, he's gonna use stasis off. Oh, only a single stasis. He got about 4 of them. Oh, now the Corsairs are coming in. Who's gonna win this fight? Corsairs are going down quick. Valkyries are going down quicker. Oh, beautiful execution there from Mong, switching over into the Corsairs. But a couple of Valkyries still alive, and there's so many turrets here, though. There's still so many turrets here that Hamburger's house manages to scare the carriers away. Carriers have once again lost their shields, but as I said before, he's got all those shield batteries to repair those shields. The middle, though, Hamburger's house has made, in the meantime, some great progress on the middle. There's no probe on the middle either. The carriers return to the middle, though, but Goliaths are there to contest the power of the carriers. So Mong is gonna try to micro backwards, kill some Goliaths, and maybe heal up once again on the shield batteries, but the Valkyries stuck in stasis have just been unfrozen and enter the middle once again. Hamburger's house did lose his armories though, so he can for a moment not make any more new Goliaths or Valkyries. He's replacing the armories though, so he'll soon be able to resume production of those, but every single Valkyrie he now loses, or every single Goliath he now loses, will hurt him in his ability to fight against carriers. Dark Templars enter the middle, Vessel goes down, scans come down on the Dark Templars to detect them. Dark Templars are wreaking havoc, there's so many Dark Templars on the middle. The Corsairs are chasing down the Valkyries and Arbiter there as well. Carriers are retreating to re-get their shields, and it looks like Mong clears out the middle with a great unit combination. An amazing unit combination, actually. Hamburger's house is struggling to stay afloat. Struggling to keep up. Oh, he's using the scans continuously. So the armories have finished. He is rebuilding all of his Goliaths, all of his tanks, all of his Valkyries, but at the moment he has got no anti-air at all. The Valkyries are close to spawning though, but Mong comes back in, ready to kill the armories once again, starts killing depots as well. There goes armory number 1. While he's attacking all of them. Oh, Goliath spawned just in time. Valkyries also spawned just in time. Corsairs are chasing down the Valkyries. Valkyries are gonna... Oh, the carriers get scared away just in time. 2 of the armies barely staying alive. The Corsairs go down as well. Close exchange, but the Goliaths and Valkyries spawned just at the exact right time. Any later, and the armies would have died. Any later, and Mong might have killed more depots, and Humberger's house might have gotten supply stuck. But the timing there was exactly as it had to be. A probe has re-entered the middle to start building more cannons on the middle once again. Looks like Humberger's house has spotted the gateways here on the side. Just not sure if the Marine can see it. Let's see if it can see. Can it see the gateways? Yeah, it can see the gateways. It sees one of them. And if you can see one gateway, it is safe to assume there's more of them. Also, one little detail I want to point out. Mong didn't build a pylon or a gateway here so that these 2 gateways can spawn Dragoons, and the Dragoons will spawn here, and then it will be able to leave through here. Small detail, but important one. So once again, same setup. Oh, there's a shuttle, tries to get in. There's a Dark Archon in there for mind control, but there's no SCVs anywhere to be seen. Wait, there's one right there. Is he gonna do it? Valkyries are chasing are being chased away by the Corsairs. Shuttle comes in there for the mind control. Oh, he got it. He got it. Oh, dear God, no. Dear God, no. Running to safety. Oh, no, he got it. The Corsairs go down. Goliaths have also mostly gone down, but new ones are spawning. But this is the worst case scenario for Humberger Sasu. Mong has an SCV mind controlled. And that means he's getting access to 200 Terran units soon as well. I'm sad to see that one. But I'm honestly impressed with how Mong has been managing his Protoss. He isn't going for the maximum amount of carriers. He only has like 11 or 10 every single time. But he's complementing them with Arbiters and Corsairs. And the Corsairs are so great at dealing with the Valkyries. And the Goliaths have trouble dealing with the carriers, if the Valkyries are not there to support them. It's all just working out really, really well. He's also continuously slowing down the push here with Templars and carriers taking down the tanks. I think Humberger's house should try to split up his Valkyries a little bit. He's keeping them very close to each other. Makes them, in my opinion, a little bit weaker. If you spread them out, they are stronger against storms because less Valkyries will take damage for storm. But also, you can't stasis all of them at the same time if you spread them out. And I mean like spread them out over the entire area here, like in a U shape, instead of keeping them close to each other balled up. Humberger's house is going to try to break into the middle as fast as he can. Well, now we've got disruption webs coming down to eliminate the Goliaths from contention. Oh, now it's... Oh, so many disruption webs that are coming on the Goliaths. He's got so many Corsairs. Such great play from Mong. Now the Valkyries come in once again, but the Goliaths, the disruption webs are ending. Goes for the Arbiter. No, he's going for the Corsairs first to save the Valkyries, but most of the Valkyries have gone down. And he got storm dropped again, or did he just kill his SCVs? I didn't see a drop coming in. I think he killed his own SCVs to have a bigger attacking army. As he's not rebuilding his SCVs either. So I think he killed his own SCVs, but he's got no gas. Oh no, oh no. This game is turning bad. Mong needs more SCVs on the gas. He's got no gas income at all, and he can't max out. Oh no. I've got a bad feeling about this one. Humberger Sasu, though, is playing valiantly. Playing really well here on the middle. Storm comes out on the Goliaths. Pretty well hit Storm. Still dancing back and forth, trying to keep up. More Dark Temples are entering the middle. Goliaths are doing a great job here. but they're also walking into cannons. He pulls back towards his own choke. Great stasis there as well. Hamburger's house has started to rebuild his SCVs. He's also refilling all of his gas just in time. Any longer than this, and his gas problems would have really been the end of him. But the real issue is these factories being built at home for Mong. Though he hasn't gotten to use them yet, I think they're going to, once finished, more or less end the game. I don't see Humber Kasasu making much more progress than this. He's waiting for his army to rebuild. Still having trouble with his gas, though his gas should soon be just completely fine again. Goliaths, yeah, the stasis comes down on, luckily not on the vessels. This did hit. Oh, the disruption webs there, completely annoying, completely shutting out a couple of those Goliaths. Now the Valkyries have gone down. He's trying to target down the Corsairs with the Goliaths, but the carriers are clearing out everything in the front. And it looks like that's the game. Looks like Humber Kasasu has given up. And honestly, I think that was honestly the end. I mean, the factories, of course, do put a little bit more pressure upon Humber Kasasu. But in the end, Mong didn't get to use any of the Terran units for combat. And I honestly think losing all the Valkyries, having all those Valkyries stuck in stasis, and having a small army really was the end of the game. Mong won without having to use his mind control units, which I am honestly quite happy about. Because if he had to use his mind control units, it would honestly mean that Humber Kasasu would have won if not for the mind control units. But in this case, we can definitively say Mong completely earned this win fair and square. Really well played there. Really well played, Protoss. He has a great eye for unit combinations and different kinds of strategies to use, different combinations, different tactics, different executions. He knows exactly what to focus on and how to do it. Humber Kasasu just simply outclassed in this game. He played Terran really well, but this combination that Mong had going with the Corsairs, the Disruption Webs, the Arbiters, the Carriers, and the Templars was just so damn strong. So damn strong. And that means that we now have reached a conclusion to the last final battle between Mong and Humber Kasasu, where Mong takes home game number 5 and is the eventual champion between these two players. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this very long best of 5, the final battle, the final showdown between these two behemoths of players. I hope to see you return sometime soon in the future, and I hope that I'll be able to bring you another great match, or another great video such as this one. So leave a comment if you have any thoughts on the match of today, or the battle we witnessed, the epic battle. Specifically, the last game was an epic showdown between these two powerhouse players. And I hope you come back for more. So that's it. Have a great day, and keep crafting those stars.